welcome back to the Rugby Connection podcast presents Two Props, One Pod with myself, Jemma, the prop life.
And Anja, the chatty prop.
And we have two fabulous guests on today. I mean, guests, part of the family, really. Murray and Harvey.
Woo!
Woo! I mean, none of us are props, but I'm excited to be on here, finally.
It's okay.
I played prop when I was about 12, so we'll leave.
So many people have that experience of playing, like almost everyone that I've ever met was like, I played prop when I was like 11 or 12. And then
I was big when I was younger, but then everyone caught up with me, so I just became. Yeah.
Also, technically, we did have this discussion last time. Although Jemma is a prop at heart, she no longer really plays prop anymore. So we have.
I am
second row.
I'm second row by
at this point. The TikTok
I'm the only prop left. In fact, I might just go, guys.
Wait a minute, we've got two locks, a prop, and a scrum half. There we go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That sounds like a great party.
That's the best party, Jemma.
But yeah, I am now a second row by trade. But as we agreed, I am still a prop, kind of emotionally, spiritually, alcoholically.
Once a prop, always a prop. Yeah. Once a prop, always a prop.
Also, I can't be asked to rebrand.
No, it doesn't work otherwise. So we're just going to have to keep it, guys. Sorry about that. So, firstly, how's everyone's week's been? Let's start with you, Murray. What's going on?
It's been good. We've watched a ton of rugby. We covered our episode during the week, and we're just excited to talk about more rugby. So yeah,
woo!
How have you been getting on?
So I'll let you answer first.
I have had a very busy week, getting the content done, getting job things sorted, also watching a lot of rugby. The office cold thing is hitting me violently as we speak. So I'm functioning on about 5%, but you know.
Yes, Queen. Working through it.
Slay.
I don't even know why I said that. That is it's not even a me thing to say. Yes, Queen. Sorry, yeah. I think that's going around our team too. The whole cold thing. I think it's a winter thing. I know you guys have been working hard. I've had a really nice week in Mexico. Don't know if I need to say it again.
Rude.
It's been great. Thank you very much. Back in it this week, back to training, back to life, and yeah, first match back Sunday against Supermarine, who we do actually have a little bit of it's not beef, but there's some drama.
Well, it's corn. It's not beef.
Wait, who hooked up with who? Who hooked up with who?
Oh no, it's not lesbian drama, Jemma. It's not lesbian drama.
That's not normal.
I know. It was to do with us coming down from the championship, no biggie. And yeah, so that'll be good. But it's always a good match, and they are actually not this group of girls, so that'll be good. Yeah.
Harvey, how's your week been?
Yeah, it's not been too bad. I've had exams, so not a lot of rugby played or watched. I have got Sale London Irish in the back here. You're probably going to blur this out for copyright, but yeah, it's about the first rugby I've watched in about a week, so it's not too bad. I've ended my streak watching URC now, so it's back to Prem. But I did actually watch some Women's World Cup games as well, even though I tried to max my sleep before the awful exam period. But anyway, we're getting through it.
For copyright purposes, he's been watching a team with a shark versus a team with a four-leaf clover.
There we go.
That is such a good way of putting it. Well done, Jemma. On the ball as always. So in rugby news, big rugby news, obviously we've had the kickoff of the Women's World Rugby Cup. It's been very exciting so far. I think we're all loving the very early morning starts. Has everyone got their...
Can't get enough of it.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I didn't have it too bad actually, because the first one started at 8:30 p.m. for me, so that was great. That was a little bit easier, but I have set my alarm for early tomorrow, so I was
fully jet lagged after last week.
I can imagine.
I was not okay, and I turned around and said to Matt, I was like, I'm gonna crash out at about 2:00 this afternoon. 10 to 2, I was passed out like an old lady on the sofa, and I was just there like, I'm not all right, I'm not okay.
I was really tempted to get everyone to send me like a screenshot of what they were looking like while they were watching the rugby match at like 2 a.m. or something, and just make a whole
we
compilation.
could do that last weekend. Just everyone send a group chat picture, just be like, yeah, surviving.
Yeah.
I somehow joined at about 7, so
that's pretty good. Yeah,
I did it. I watched the games, then I went to a wedding fair. If that isn't elite, I don't know what is.
Strong.
Wedding fairs are hell, never do them. I would rather be set on fire than go to another one, but I did it.
I'm proud of you for that. Well done, Jemma. So what were we saying? So yeah, 3 World Cup matches.
Yes.
To kick off the World Cup. Well, there was more than 3, but the first 3 that I watched were South Africa, France. That was a good game for France. I mean, France looked dominant as per. We know that South Africa are a growing team. We know that the infrastructure isn't quite there yet compared to some other international teams, but they look promising.
Absolutely. When you look at the South Africa team, the 4, the most capped players have about 4 caps. So what I think is that, yes, France, very dominant, always a really exciting team to watch, extremely physical team, but it was nice to see that kind of physical clash. And I think South Africa are bringing absolute class to this tournament, despite being such a fresh team. I think that they're representing their nation really well. They're playing great rugby with real composure. I think, like when we see kind of Georgia play England men's, there's that development still to come. But I think that what they're showing us is really promising, really exciting. I think.
So Murray, you go, Murray.
Oh no, I was just agreeing. I don't have anything to add.
I think it's very, very valid. But I think also in terms of like new 15 sides, again with England, Fiji, we're a very strong team, if not the favourite to potentially win this competition. But when we have a team like Fiji who are so unpredictable and playing rugby that is so fast paced and very offload based and just very don't want to say erratic is the word to use, but very just all over the place. You can see how it shook us because we don't play teams who do that. You play teams who are very structured. So I enjoyed watching the England Fiji game. I think it was a really interesting game of rugby to watch, especially that first half.
Personally, I loved England v Fiji for everything but the scoreline. So I was happy for England, but but what I loved was to see Fiji bringing that real fast-paced, quick thinking, less structured rugby that we do see often in the kind of Polynesian style of rugby, and they brought that with such class, such effort. And what I loved to see, because you see a lot of, especially the kind of the Northern Hemisphere teams, they play really strict structures against the Red Roses, and they end up with those big score lines, and they don't take risks. Whereas Fiji, you could see they were very much playing 100% from the start, but they were not afraid to take the risks. And actually, that's what really rattled the Red Roses for the first part of that game. You could see that kind of looking for the offload, like you were saying, that real fast-paced, less structured style of rugby. It really rattled them. And actually, it was nice to see because, don't get me wrong, the Red Roses are a really capable team, but they're not going often against teams that are offering them much in that level of competition. So weirdly, I would say that was one of the most competitive matches, at least for the first half, that the Roses have had in a while.
Yeah.
I mean,
Harvey,
Jemma,
you could say something.
Oh yeah, Harvey looked like he was.
Harvey looked like he was gonna.
I've been eating the whole time.
He's snacking.
No, listen.
Consummate professional.
No, I mean, the first half was incredibly dominant. No, sorry. The first half was incredibly competitive. The second half was incredibly dominant. It kind of showed 2 sides. Obviously, Fiji aren't a top nation. We know this.
No.
But to be in the game, they do play a style of rugby which is it's fast flowing, and kind of just goes against everything Northern Hemisphere rugby's about.
Yeah,
it's a breath of fresh air, and I think one of the challenges they're going to have against these Southern Hemisphere sides is almost just a completely different brand of rugby.
Yeah.
Let's be real. We don't play against these nations very often. It's all Northern Hemisphere. Six Nations. We might might take a gander over to the USA once in a while. But I think this was obviously going to be a big challenge, coming out and playing against almost a complete new style of rugby, adapting to that, and definitely held our own the first half. but then when the second half kicked in, the fitness was just much better.
Yeah.
It was just much better, and England basically just won that as the better team. I think there's no other, to be honest. The players were better. The fitness was so much better. Fiji almost just ran themselves ragged in the first half. But I think it was still incredibly competitive for what it actually was, to be fair.
I think so.
If you wake up, see the scoreline, 84-19, you're thinking to yourself,
that was
a hammer. But it wasn't. That's the most thing. But no, I think to get done with Fiji it was probably one of our bigger challenges within the groups anyway.
Absolutely. I think as well, what it demonstrated two different things. It demonstrated that give Fiji the funding they deserve and the setup they deserve, and there's a ton of talent there that's ready to go. And B, look what happens when you do have a team with the right setup, as in the Red Roses, what they're capable of. So that game demonstrated two things about funding and setup for me. I don't know how you feeling about it, Murray.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I've said it all year. Just pay the girls. I know that's not as simple as that sometimes, but just pay them. They deserve it, and it does make. I think me and Jemma actually had a nice little conversation during this game because I think we were the only two awake.
Yes.
Just Fiji's handling in the first half was, if they were a bit more clinical, I think they might have actually been maybe winning in the first half.
Oh, hands down, yeah. There was a couple of opportunities. They had opportunities to run away, and they didn't,
And then it just kind of, like Harv said, like just professionalism sort of kicked in. England being the sort of team. I mean, Claudia McDonald, 4 tries.
Fire.
Yeah.
Abby Dow, love to see her back. I think another point to make there is that, did you see the players who are on the bench for England? Like, that in itself is like another, that all of those could effectively start a game, and I swear there'd be no difference. And you could tell as soon as they came on, you couldn't even notice the difference. If anything, we scored more.
You got that off the pundits.
Did I? Well, I just came into my head just then. Sorry.
I heard David Fartman say the exact same thing.
She is the pundit.
I am the pundit. I'm all the pundits. Yeah, I thought. Fully. I think I'd agree with everything you guys have said. I think Fiji played some very entertaining rugby, and I think what you guys have said where they could have had a few more tries if just taking maybe 2 more seconds. That pass was maybe a bit more accurate. Some of those hits they were making, I mean, let's not lie, I think some other teams struggle with the level of contact they were giving in the first half. And again, it definitely just did come down to fitness, and
I would have died.
Yeah, they had a few injuries as well, and I think that second half was always. I think the scoreline was always only going to go one way in the nicest way possible, but it was nice to see them put up a bit of a fight.
Yeah, and that's also 19 more points, I think, than a lot of people expected. So
yeah,
true.
Exactly.
I do have a question for everyone, though. Just a quick one, though.
Oh.
Will the Fijiana be like 2015 Japan at this World Cup? Like they're going to just kind of be there, but there will be like one big surprise from them.
Yeah.
I reckon they'll beat South Africa. So technically,
Is that a surprise though?
That's a clash. I can't wait to see.
I mean, like pushing France.
I think they might push France. To be fair, because I don't think France have ever played. Yeah. Like Harvey said, we have a really good tradition of only playing Northern Hemisphere teams and the Southern Hemisphere, and very, very rarely do we ever. I can only think of one match where I've seen Fiji women's play the English women or the Barbars. I think, I think it'll be really interesting to see how they rattle France, because France can be very easily rattled too. In that first maybe 5 minutes of the 5-10 minutes of the France South Africa game, South Africa rattled France. I think so. I think the best thing about the World Cup is, although we do think there are teams that I'd predict to be in the top 3, I think actually in the pool stages, like we've seen in the Men's World Cup many times, anyone can win on the day if they're just playing great rugby.
And it's with Fiji, they've got so much potential in the bag, and I think we are so early on the journey with them that we've got so much more to see yet. And I think France do play a very similar kind of structure to England in the way. They play, or a very similar style of rugby. They look for that real structure. And so actually that's why the scoreline when England play France is often so pretty equal, because they play a very similar kind of game. Whereas actually that's where teams like Fiji that look for that quick ball, they look for almost a more of a league style of play, actually, really. When you think about it, that's when those teams rattle them. And we've seen it already with the USA and Italy last week. You know, a scoreline that I don't think everyone expected.
No, I didn't expect that.
Nope. And I still think we've got more to see from the USA, because there's so many talented players and players that I absolutely adore in that squad. But they were rattled.
It's good to be rattled.
Yeah,
I think it needs to be done.
I think the interesting thing is though, like, you know, if you talk about the Premier 15s, where there's so much international talent in the Premier 15s now, all these girls from all these different teams have played each other. They know how each other, like, effectively, I think comes down to that thing. They know how each other play. We don't know how Fiji play, because none of those players, apart from Rachel, who plays for Saracens, none of those players play in England. We don't know anything about them. We don't know their tactics. You can kind of see how other people play in a league. So yeah.
Well put like that.
Random point there. And I think the only other, it wasn't a shock, but the only other, like, the game that really was a good one to watch was the Wales-Scotland game coming down to the last couple. Murray, I know, I felt you so much.
He's cried about this to us already.
No way.
I'm sorry.
I'm stuck in a call with 3 English people that are joyous because I put 80 on.
No, I've got Scottish blood. I've got Scottish blood in me. Like I there was part of me that, but a great show of rugby, I thought, you know.
Yeah. And I think after Anya and I obviously got to meet the lovely Rach Malcolm at the Six Nations.
She's very lovely.
And I got to go to, one of the games I got to go to was Wales v Scotland over in Principality. And honestly, when I was watching it, I was fully torn who to support then. And I'm still so on the fence, because there's so many class players for Scotland and there's so many class players for Wales. And they're just great. I love that Scotland play with such heart. You know, Rachel Malcolm, she leads that team with so much heart.
I think I wanted it for Scotland just because of, like, they've had this so many times. It's been such a close thing and it hasn't gone their way. And I wanted it for them. Like,
well,
but that's just not the way the crumble.
It was a similar story back in the Six Nations, was it, against Ireland?
Yeah, like literally the last play of the game. It was the last play of the game.
I don't know, it's a shame because these two teams they're very level matched. Like those two in Ireland are always fighting it out in Six Nations. Like, you know, it's always going to be by at least one. You always know it's going to be by one score. It's never going to be ever so much the other way. So this is why these games are probably some of the more interesting to watch, only because you genuinely could not predict it at all.
I'll be interested. It'll be interesting to see, because obviously in that pool it was New Zealand, Australia, Wales, Scotland. Some of those matches will be interesting. So I really can't judge. Oh, I mean, I know New Zealand are going to be class. Australia can be a bit up and down in some of their performances, so it'll be very.
I think it's important to note. I think it's important to note as well that Wales and Scotland women are both at a very similar stage in their like club and squad development. So obviously, Wales have been contracted for just under a year now. Scotland have been contracted for only a couple of months, but you can already see the improvements in the game, in their individual player. I can already see the improvements in those team, and what they're offering is getting better and better. So they're a great advert, you know, just like the Fijiana are a great advert for kind of that starter in the World Cup. These are kind of a great advert for that mid-level of, like, we're getting that funding, we're getting it going, you know, we're mid on our way here. So that was great to see.
I think we can't rule out Canada either. Canada always put in a solid performance. But they're on a very similar level to Robin. I saw them play Wales, and you know, that was a very close match. So really, like, I think it could be very close at the end of the day. But anyway, coming back to the main point. Who's excited for England and France tomorrow morning?
I'm so excited for it.
I know, I'm pumped. I
am personally more excited for Scotland Belarus, but that's just
and I think that's also going to be a quality match, and I will obviously watch that one. But
I have a genuine question. Will you be supporting France in that game?
Always for what?
France.
No, I'll just support rugby.
Harvey, good question. That is the question.
I've got to say, because these two girls back Scotland to some degree.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't. It doesn't
Well,
matter
wait
what.
a minute.
I do love Scotland to a large degree, but I'm like, when I was watching England, I kind of support England, but kind of wanted Fiji to, I was cheering for Fiji a little bit.
Competitiveness, that's the thing. You don't want these big.
I love them scoring, to be fair, because actually very few teams put many tries past England. So for them to actually get 19 points on the board,
I love an
at some
underdog
points
as well.
I felt that like it was the first time I'd watched a game of when England played where I felt nervous, apart from like the first half of Wales England in the Six Nations, where I was like, I said to my dad, I don't actually know if we're going to run away with this one. I think it's going to be a really close match. So yeah. Jemma, you've muted yourself, babe.
Yeah, 2 seconds. I'm just going to have to move. I'll be 2 seconds, guys.
I'll back England pure because we've had Scars on the show. We've had them with Scar, but we've not had any of the French girls yet. We've not had Marisol Fowl yet. We'll get. I don't speak French, but we'll get her on.
Mm-hmm.
And same for Laurie Sansu. I love her.
I think honestly, I think she's the best player in the world at the moment. Laura Sansu. I think she is another level. I think she's just elite. She's playing. She's just creating things that like we're just not seeing other nines create at the moment. I just think, I watch her and I'm like, she picked and went from back of the scrum and scored, and how many nines do that off a scrum? Like it was quite sorry.
Not even just that. How many nines do that in 90 seconds of a game?
Yeah. Sorry, Jemma. We're just being Laura Sansu's fan club.
No, that's
saying,
right.
I think she's the best.
I think she's the best player in the world. In a quiet place before I rejoin the chat. No, I agree. Sansus is absolutely class. As much as like, I always joke about scrum halves and scrum half slander. It's always a joke.
One of the best.
And she is fantastic. She's got such a rugby brain, and I think that's what takes a good player to an elite player is that rugby brain. I physically, I'm the size, I could probably get by in a higher level based off of my physical size, but I don't have the rugby brain. Like I fully don't. I get by, I do okay, but I don't have enough of a rugby brain for it.
I'd put money on her getting, because I think she got Six Nations Player of the tournament. I think I'll put money on her getting World Player of the Year this year.
Are you sure? The last time we spoke about this, Anja, you picked Marley Packer, and then
I said originally Marley Packer, and then I changed my choice to Laura Sansu because I was like, actually, I love Marley Packer. I think she's a great player, but I thought Laura had the better Six Nations across all the games.
That counts, though.
I did. Right, go back and watch it, everyone. Go back and watch the episode because you'll see me backtracking the episode. I backtrack and I apologise for it, but I did say I remember.
All right, guys. So you've probably seen, but every week I throw a random game that we've never expected at Anja. And I have one for you all this week too, naturally.
Okay.
Fantastic, can't wait.
So I'm going to go around all of you, one by one. I'm going to ask you which 3 players from the Rugby World Cup would you go and have a beer with?
Ooh.
So I'll start off with my 3.
Okay.
My first one would be Kate Zachary from Team USA.
You absolutely, yeah.
Captain Kate, she is Captain Fantastic. She practices what she preaches, and she's just a nice human being.
Yeah.
She's coming to the wedding. That's kind of already been it's kind of like a handshake agreement. So
nice.
Wow. I can't wait to meet her there. Yeah.
And then my second one would probably be Suan Lillycrap from Wales. I feel like she'd be great to have a beer with. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. And then my third one, because I've obviously met a fair few of the Red Roses now, and they are legends. Yeah. Do you know what? I'd probably have to pick Rona Lloyd. I think
I was going to pick her. Yeah.
Okay. I think she'd be great.
Yeah.
I think Harvey looks like he's got the answers.
I'm going to throw it to Harvey because he is a man who's got a list. I can see it in his eyes.
Right. First of all, this might be a bit Harlequin's bias, but I'm going to go Shauna Brown.
Yeah.
Solid.
I think that's probably solid choice I'll pick.
She is great.
She's nice, yeah,
Second,
lovely.
I'm probably going to go with, from personal experience, from who I've met, I will go Skaz only because I've met her. She's class. Absolutely loved her. Third,
I think Harvey actually is in love with Emily Skaz. By the look in his eyes, I can see actual love, like actually adoration. Right, yeah.
He's like, what? No, change the subject.
So no, next player.
Definitely not in love with Skaz.
I'll probably go with possibly my favourite player outside of England. I'll go Jasmine Joyce.
Yes.
Oh,
Nice.
Incredible player.
Yeah. Nice. I like that.
That's fair.
Who next,
Murray?
Oh, you leave me to everyone's taking all my players now, so my list is just changing.
So, just because I have seen her neck a pint after winning the Prem 15s, I'm back in Marley Packer.
Yeah.
She's great. She's best moment of my life when she hugged me. Great times. Yeah.
There's another player off Anya's list. I'm just like crossing them off now.
I have the best moment with Marley Packer. So I was stood on the pitch in France after the Six Nations Le Crunch, and my best mate messaged me going, if you see Marley Packer, tell her she's a legend from me. Marley was actually stood right next to me. So I just flipped on my phone and went, hey Marley, my best mate says you're a legend. And she went, oh, thanks mate. And it made my best mate's day.
Brilliant.
That's class. Yeah, definitely Marley Packer. I don't want to go podcast bias though, because there's too many.
Podcast bias. Be biased. I like the range, you know.
Fine. I want to have a drink with my Aussie bestie, Laurie Kramer, because
she's funny.
She is wild.
She's funny. Yeah.
She's got a weird nickname for me, but I don't know if I want to say it.
Okay.
I'll tell you later. As one that, yeah, cool. She can call me that. If that catches on, I don't want it to.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
It's a nickname for you, Murray.
Yeah, it's for him.
It's like, well, I didn't think it was a nickname for me until I messaged her, and she went, "How's my?" and she put it in. I was like, "That's my name now, is it? That's cool. That's fun." So there we go.
Go on. You can't leave us hanging.
You've got to say it now. Just edit it out.
No.
Come on.
But, right, so if you go and listen to the interview, she basically implied that I would make a great drag queen. So I'm Laurie Kramer's drag queen. There you go.
Wait, so what's the name?
That's
it.
What's your drag name?
Yeah,
but what's your drag name? Yeah, but Murray, now you need to find a drag name.
I don't know. You just can decide that. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll message her and I'll be like, "Oh, how's
Murray
things?"
Mint.
Good Lord. Oh God. I might just leave Rugby Connection.
And he's just died.
I just falling off the bed.
That was good for me.
No, genuinely, like you message Lauren like, "Oh, how's things?" She went, "Yeah, good. How's my drag queen doing?" So,
oh, cute.
There you go.
I like that.
Harvey's pressing himself up.
That's made my day.
And I'm not going podcast biased. I will go country biased though. I'd love to get a drink with Jade Conkle Roberts because she is class.
She'd be a laugh.
She's just a legend.
I feel like she'd also like outdrink everyone.
Yeah.
I feel like she'd be one of those, you meet one at every club and before you've even seen them hit the bar, you're like, you would do a pint very quickly.
You could drink, yeah.
There's one then. Who can you go drink for drink with? Who do you think you can win?
Wait, Anya's not done her.
And but after that, Anya could obviously.
So obviously a lot of mine have already been taken. Rona would have definitely been in my three, but she now has to be an honourable mention.
We're all going to meet up for this big massive drink anyway.
I think one would be Ruby Chewy because she's been so funny on social media during this World Cup. So I would have a drink with her. Emily Scarrett was going to be in mine too. That laugh come at me. Who else would be funny? On the England team, I'm going to go with Abby Dow because I do think she's shy, but I think she'd be fun. I think she seems shy, but I think she'd be quite a laugh. Like I think she's
a nice human.
Like, every now and then drops a funny one-liner,
a funny something.
Yeah, and then thirdly, God, this is hard when everyone's picked like everyone. I'm gonna try and think of like an out there one. Okay. I reckon Hope Rogers would be quite funny from the US.
Yes.
Hope Rogers. Yeah.
Santa.
I think she'd be quite funny to get a drink. So I'm gonna go with her. That would be my 3. Mhm.
She's epic.
Not my original 3, but because everyone took
Who's
one.
who's your original 3?
It would have been Rona Lloyd, Emily Scarrett, and I still think it would have been Ruby Chewy. Okay, Ruby Chewy would still be the same. But yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed this, but at the Premiership final, lots of the Chiefs fans were wearing Santa hats.
Yes.
Were they?
Why?
And I didn't know why initially, and it turns out Hope's nickname is Santa. I don't fully know all the meaning behind this, but yeah, all the Chiefs fans were wearing Santa hats for that specific reason.
That makes sense.
That's pretty cool. So what players could you go drink for drink with? Who do you think you could just go level with all night?
Yeah. Jemma, Gemma's quite good at drinking, actually, I think.
I'm not necessarily a quick drinker, but I'll last.
She lasts. This girl can go the distance.
I only pass out eventually. So
yes.
I'm gonna go not from the England squad. Okay. I think I'm gonna back myself really hard and say Madison Fowl.
Gemma's fearless. Anja, you look like you could.
Jemma has no survival instincts whatsoever.
Is this like any rugby player in the world are we going for right now? Is this like it's not World Cup? Did you say it's not World Cup? Okay.
She won.
I'm gonna go Harvey first. Go to Harvey first. Let's go Harvey.
Oh,
back yourself though, Jemma. I rate it. Back yourself, but we'll be picking you off as a pavement afterwards. Like, but back yourself. That's confidence is key.
From personal experience, do I back myself?
No, I've seen you drink. You can't handle nothing.
No, Murray, that was a different time. That was almost a year ago.
All right, okay.
He's grown since then, Murray. Okay, Murray, he's a big boy.
I'm another year older. No. Out of my list, I couldn't keep up with Shauna. I reckon she's heavy.
Yeah.
She's definitely heavy. I feel like I'll be on the same pace as Skaz.
No, because I think Skaz is. I reckon Skaz is a lightweight. I reckon Skaz is really like a 2-pinter.
If you're watching this podcast, I've got a drinking game for you. Every time Harvey Allen says Skaz, take a shot.
Yes, we're all getting heavy drunk. Woo!
Can we just get a T-shirt for Harv just going, I love Skaz, with a picture?
His birthday's coming up, so there you go.
Oh, there we go, Harvey. Oh,
I'll get my merch lady on it.
Maybe. Yeah. Right, Murray, who would you pick? Oh, well, did you not finish? Oh, I thought it was Skaz. Sorry, Harvey.
I was about to say, I was weighing up either Jasmine or Emily Scarrett, and
he's not saying that.
I reckon Skaz is just incredibly slow.
Yeah.
I reckon
fast on the pitch, slow in the bar. I reckon.
I reckon Jasmine's fast, but also fast to get drunk.
Yeah. I see that.
I don't know. I like to play the long game, so I'll probably go with Emily Scarrett.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The way you said that as well, games. I like to play the long game, so Emily Scarrett.
He said it twice in the last minute. I said what I said.
Oh, God.
Can we tag Emily in this? We need to tag Emily in this if we put this on Instagram.
Please remember.
Can we make this the thumbnail? Yeah, sorry. No, I'm joking. Sorry, Harvey. Only this will only
go on then.
I'm not going to pick any of my 3.
Oh,
because Marlon Parker will make it up.
She will walk all over you, Murray.
Yeah,
I've seen her. Yeah, she will destroy you.
She will let me collapse, pick me up again, to drink me again, to leave me high. No.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Captain America. I think I could match Kate Zachary. I think I could do it.
Woo-hoo!
And we're friends. We've discussed drinking, so bring it on.
My money is on Kate Zachary.
Oh
yeah.
I was backing you against Madison Fowl as well.
Yeah.
Kind of. Like 51%.
Yeah. It was a tentative backing. Like we're backing you, but like wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
like
you're mainly
part of
backing
our
me
team.
for scientific reasons because you
Yeah.
kind of want to see it happen. But
Yeah, it's probably
I'll-
like, yeah, I'm backing Jemma.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Gemma's passed out. Yeah. Who would I pick? Do you know what? I will hands down admit that I think I'm good at drinking. I think I'm good. I'm not, like, in terms of like, I get drunk quite quickly, but actually when I'm drunk, I can like, unless I'm doing like lots of shots, if I'm just like pint drunk, I can just stay at the same really good level for like a long time, and then I'll collapse. Like there's no drunk, paralytic, then die. It's just drunk, dead, if that makes sense. But I stay drunk for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah.
So, and I do have to keep continuously drinking, otherwise I get tired. So I'm gonna go with someone who I think could outdrink me, would outdrink me, but like I'd have fun. And I'm probably gonna go with like Sarah Byrne, I reckon, because I reckon she could drink quite a bit, but I feel like we might be on a similar level. She might outdrink me, but I'm okay with it, kind of thing. Yeah.
Fair. That's
Yeah.
fine. So
That's what I thought into that.
who out of this call could you outdrink? Harv, probably.
Harv, yeah. I couldn't outdrink. I don't actually think I could outdrink Jemma.
Why me?
I think Gemma's got a better liver than I have, and could definitely outdrink. Murray, I reckon you could outdrink me quite
I'm not
substantially.
convinced. My little liver nowadays, there's like 3 chunks of it left.
Harvey, I think, would be putting to bed after like 3 pints, but like,
Yeah.
Harvey,
you are not.
in fact, Skaz would be putting him to bed after 3 drinks and being like, there, Harvey. And then,
He wishes.
yeah.
Bro, you've got no
Harvey,
standard.
you have a reputation as a
like you saw me at point 0, and that was a year ago. Listen,
Harvey, you have a reputation to uphold as a mulleted rugby lad, right? And
oh my God,
not upholding it.
Just saw the picture Harvey's put in the group chat.
What is it?
Of him and Skaz with another.
We're going to get lawsuit, Harvey. Murray, please tell me you have lawyers.
I do not, but we'll figure it out. It's all good.
Harvey. Bro.
Right. Moving swiftly onwards. Anya, remind me of the fixtures that we have tomorrow.
We have tomorrow England, France.
And who are you backing to win?
Obviously.
Blah, blah. Sorry.
Oh, how do we kick someone out of a Zoom call?
That's not nice. No, I do think I'm going to win.
England, I think, but I obviously think it's going to be a very close match, and I would respect France if they do win. So I think it would be good. I'm not too sure who else is. We've got Scotland versus Australia.
We have indeed. Murray, who do you think is going to win that one?
Australia.
Right. I knew you'd say that.
That's not biased, by the way.
I'm sure it's not. No, but I go back your team, Scotland. I think the girls can do it. I genuinely do believe that. I'm not just like saying that as being Scottish.
I want it for Scotland so much.
I think this is the game where we right the mistakes from last week. Again, Australia's a very untapped team.
Yeah.
They're not. I don't think they're professional yet.
Yeah, don't think. No.
I don't think they're fully professional yet.
Then it might. Yeah. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to Google that.
Yeah, go for it now, and then
Google them now.
Yeah, go for it now. Yeah, that's what.
Australian. Do you know this, Jemma?
Oh no, I meant for the win. Go for it now. I didn't mean Google.
So yes, go for the win. So if I go for the Google, I was like trying to type. And then who's the last one? I can't remember the last match. Who's the last match?
It's USA Japan, is it not?
Yes, it is.
USA Japan.
USA versus Japan, which is going to be a very exciting game for a lot of reasons. Obviously, the USA will be looking to claw back a win after their loss last week, and Japan are a really kind of exciting, developing team. We're seeing a lot more of Japan. Harvey, who do you think is going to win for Japan v USA?
I'd like to say the USA.
Yeah.
Anya's with you on that one, I think.
I think
Murray's staying stoically silent.
I think if we look at the result from Canada, Japan, which was, by the way, quite a big gap.
Yeah.
Canada, England, I think will probably see USA win, but who knows, because Japan could have learned a lot of valuable lessons from that match, and like Italy, like Italy showed them the other day. Sorry,
and you're okay. But yeah, like Italy showed them the other
like
day.
Italy showed them they can be rattled, right? So I think again, if Japan go out there and just kind of go all guns blazing, it could be anyone's game.
Funny.
Yeah, I'm going to back USA. I think they're just going to be pissed off from last week more than anything.
Yeah, they've got the fire in their bellies.
Obviously, on a kind of more topical news note, it's been a very sad week for Premiership Rugby again, as we've seen the collapse of another Premiership clubs in the form of Wasps. This is an issue, and I think sometimes people forget it affects both the men's and the women's Premiership, and that filters down to the leagues below. Murray, what's your thoughts?
Just sort it out. I don't want to talk every week about another team collapsing. It's not fun. We don't enjoy doing it. Again, like you said, it doesn't just affect the guys' team, it does affect the girls. And then I think it was last episode, you explained it very well, how it does trickle down to the grassroots. And just sort your shit out. I know nothing about business, but shouldn't let that happen.
It's been attributed in parts to the buying of the stadium up in Coventry and the launch of the hotel, which unfortunately was launched obviously just prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. It was just not the greatest timing, but unfortunately there is obviously a lot of major debt within other clubs. I believe Saracens are around 40 million in debt, and Bristol Bears are also in a similar region. Obviously, we did not expect the clubs to bounce back fully post-COVID, but there is a lot of debt.
40 million?
Don't quote me on that verbatim, but I believe that's the case.
That's
imagine being in the mud twice in 3 years, Saracens.
But I guess they invested in a new stand, didn't they? That's what they invested in a new stand.
Paying players, paying staff through COVID. Obviously, the clubs did let people go. They did have to furlough. There was a lot of issues. There's physically maintaining the stadiums during the COVID period. There's the things people forget about. Contracts, players out on loan. There's a lot of things that affect a Premiership rugby club. But I think, as I said last week, what is important to remember is that trickles down because of the way that rugby has been funded very much from the top down in a lot of cases rather than the bottom up. That does filter down, and it affects, Anu and I play in the Championship too. We will be seeing more players filtering down to our level because of their filtering down from the Premiership. Harvey, does it affect you at all, the Premiership moves?
I think we're seeing almost a domino effect. That's the thing. And in the case of Wasps, it's not only a rugby operation. I know they run a netball team on the side as well. It kind of affects a lot of stuff. If you're talking about these kind of, Wasps has almost become kind of a franchise in the last few years, obviously stemming from a rugby club into this kind of franchise. It is sad. I mean, these are well-established clubs that are basically just going into the ground. And I
don't know if Wasps are two separate entities, because I know that we had the Wasps in our league who play at Wasps Old Ground in London, and I don't know if the club and then the professional team are two separate things.
So there's Wasps RFC, and there's Wasps, like the Premiership Wasps. Wasps RFC, I know they're obviously very closely linked, and they're under the same umbrella, but I don't know if they're how closely linked they are. So there's a chance that Wasps RFC may still I was going to say very much continue function. But obviously the Wasps RFC women's team that we've played, the kind of second team, so to speak, disbanded at the end of last season due to numbers, which was a real shame. But if you can't get the numbers, you can't get the numbers. So it does filter down. I think my heart goes out to the people that were kind of glossed over in a lot of the decision making. The players, the staff, you know, we haven't had any silly statements from people earning big money this week.
Yeah.
But
Please don't.
what I think we do need to keep in mind is that, you know, these players are trying to go out and give their best every week with these things looming over their heads. Things like Matt Kvezic was saying how Worcester, they had no tape at the end of last season to tape players. Those things like that, they don't contribute to a great Premiership performance or anything from the top down, really.
We've actually already seen today, I think it's the first we've seen of some of those players who play for Worcester in the women's game at least, and Wasps being transferred on short-term loans to other clubs, to see, well, I guess on short-term loan just in case anything good happens, someone helps those clubs. But yes, the whole trickle-down thing, you know, we've already got quite a lot of dual-signed Premiership players already playing in the Championship and Championship 2, which does naturally mean that like some of the players who are already playing do lose their spots in the team kind of thing, and we are going to see a big change in the women's game because there's not enough. Unfortunately, there's not enough spaces. I mean, I think squads can only be 40 at the moment in Allianz Premier 15s, a 40-person training squad. So there's physically not enough room for all those players from two teams to fit into the other teams. And you know, Wasps have got some big signings. You know, Abby Dow, Claudia McDonald, all play for Wasps. Again,
obviously Claudia's now at Exeter.
Oh, is she? Yeah, she's
been a
moved,
good signing.
like,
but
sorry,
Bryony Cleo.
Bryony Cleo, Abby Dow still plays for Wasps. So yeah. Oh, interesting. Laura Keats plays for Worcester Warriors. Lots of the Welsh team play for Worcester Warriors.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit of
our very own. Okay, one last thing to finish on before we finish up. If you could raid the merch like stash shop of any club, it could be Premiership, it could be international, which one, and you just had free roam.
Well, we all know what Jemma's is going to be. It's going to be Chiefs. Is it not Chiefs?
No,
it's going to be Chiefs. It's going to be the pink kit.
It's going to be Loughborough Lightning.
I was about to guess. I was like,
I love Loughborough's kit. It's so pretty. Yeah, and my goal in life is to have a Loughborough Lightning full strip.
Is it? I would never have guessed that.
It's such a cool strip. I do love this year's Prem Cup Chief strip. I think it's really, really cool. Yeah. Obviously, our own lovely Charlie Rugby looking fantastic in that. Yeah. But yes, I really love Loughborough Lightning. Their kit is amazing. Or the Black Ferns. Their kit for this tour is incredible. And I love to see it. Anja, who would you raid?
Oh, I quite like. If I could just. This is going to be controversial. I know people, you're not going to like this. I quite like, at least, I don't know if it's the same in the women's as it is in the men's, but I quite like the Saracens away kit.
Yeah,
it's quite nice colour. No. It is. I do.
Harvey and Murray.
Okay, forget that. Sorry, no. Obviously, that's
you're entitled to your opinion.
But I do also like the Black Ferns as well. So I'd probably go for, if I was going for, political kindness here, I'd go for the Black Ferns because I wouldn't want to upset my fellow.
You are allowed.
But I do like the Saracens away kit. I'm sorry, I do. You can shake your head, Harvey. But
so who are you picking then? I assume Harlequins.
Yeah, well, it's obviously going to be.
I don't like their kit this year. I don't.
No, I would rate everything that isn't the home shirt.
Yeah.
I think it's
the big game kit. I think the big game kit's quite nice. Is it the big game?
The big game kit. No, the big game kit's quite nice.
Nice, yeah, it's nicer than the home kit.
The home kit's awful. I genuinely had about 3 fits like talking about it when it came out. I absolutely hated it. If I was to raid any other club, let's be interesting because obviously it's going to be Harlequins.
Yeah.
One other club that I like the look of is Richmond.
Yeah. Actually, I do like Richmond's kit. I like Richmond.
I love Richmond. I love Richmond's look. Their kits. I see them all the time on way deep off.
It stands out, doesn't it? Like it's just.
I always have a second thought to myself if I should buy it. I'm just like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, Murray, CEO of shirts. He's got one on, two hung in the background.
Yeah.
Which
I really like, just like, again, not picking your own teams. I quite like London Irish Stash. I don't know what it is.
I just don't know. Yeah, I see it, but
maybe I don't know. I'm trying to think now. Definitely not.
Face.
I feel like I've upset Anja with that one.
No, because I don't actually support Sarries, so it's not like that's, I actually, my family do support Quins, but I just like their away kit. So okay, Harvey, okay, I get it, I'm sorry, but like,
listen, I'm not a judgmental person, but you've completely fried my brain.
You lie,
Harvey. Yeah, but let's be honest, like if I'm thinking my color palette, Harlequins, the kit would do nothing for my color, like it would wash me out, whereas Saracens, that would work with me.
It's club colours.
So Murray, who are you going to say for your kit choice? I'm curious.
I'm sorry.
I've got thinking now, because Anja said about like colours, and I wouldn't really good at pink, as you've all seen. So I might just go for Exeter because of the away kit, the Europe kit. Sorry. No, we'll go to New Zealand. I like the Blues. The Blues have nice kits all the time.
Actually, I do like. Sorry, no, I'd probably go. I forgot about the Blues. I forgot about the Blues. The Blues have lush. They look great all the time. I'll confirm.
On a URC note, obviously we've been lucky to try out some Osprey shirts. Really like them, and I do like the DHL Stormers.
Oh, nice. Actually, you might like the Bulls away top. It is very, very bright, shall we say.
Send us a picture.
Right, guys. Well, it's probably time we wrap up.
Yes.
This chaotic episode. So thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much Harvey and Murray for joining us on this chaotic, argumentative World Cup.
It's a family.
Episode.
It's a family.
It's been a family episode, but not family friendly. Thank you very much for listening to Two Props One Pod. I'm Jemma.
And I'm Anja.
And we'll see you again very soon.